You know your marriage is over. You've made the decision. You're filing for divorce. And then the fear hits. What will people think? Your parents who celebrated your wedding, your friends who admired your relationship, your church community, your coworkers, your neighbors, everyone who knew you as a couple, everyone who thought you had it figured out. You imagine their faces when you tell them, the shock, the disappointment, the pity, maybe the judgment, the whispered conversations. I always thought something was off. She must have done something. I can't believe she's giving up. So you stay silent. You smile through family dinners, you post happy photos on social media, you pretend everything is fine because admitting your marriage failed feels like admitting you failed. The shame is suffocating, and the fear of judgment keeps you trapped. If this is where you are, if you're terrified to tell people the truth, if you're carrying the weight of a secret that's eating you alive, this conversation is for you. Today, we're talking about the social stigma of divorce, how to share your truth, who to tell first, how to handle unsupportive reactions, and how to protect yourself from the judgment that will inevitably come from some corners. Because here's what you need to know. You don't owe anyone your story, but carrying this secret alone is making everything harder. And there's a way to navigate this with grace, boundaries, and your dignity intact. Let's talk about facing the judgment and coming out the other side, the weight of shame. Let's talk about why divorce shame is so powerful. Divorce feels like failure. We're taught that marriage is supposed to be forever, till death do us part. When it ends before death, it feels like you broke a sacred promise, like you couldn't make it work, like you're the problem. Society reinforces this. Divorced women are pitied or blamed. Poor thing, she must be devastated. Or, I wonder what she did to drive him away. Either way, you're the subject of gossip, not respect. You internalize other people's judgments before they even speak them. You imagine what your religious parents will say, what your traditional grandmother will think, what your married friends will whisper, and those imagined judgments become your own inner voice. You're a failure, you're selfish, you're giving up. You feel like you're letting everyone down. All the people who came to your wedding, who gave you gifts, who celebrated your love, you feel like you're disappointing them, like you wasted their time and emotional investment. There's often real judgment. This isn't just in your head. Some people will judge you. Some will take sides. Some will blame you. Some will distance themselves. The fear is based on reality. And the shame is compounded if you're the one who left. If he was abusive or unfaithful, people understand. You get sympathy. But if you left because you were unhappy, because you'd grown apart, because you wanted more from life than going through the motions, people question that. Was it really that bad? Couldn't you have tried harder? What about the kids? Women who leave for their own well-being, not because of dramatic betrayal, face the harshest judgment and the deepest shame. Christina's story, telling her religious family. Christina grew up in a conservative religious family where divorce was considered a sin. Her parents had been married for 40 years, her grandparents 50. Divorce didn't happen in her family. Marriage was sacred. You committed and you made it work, no matter what. Christina stayed in an unhappy marriage for 8 years because she couldn't face telling her family. She knew they'd be devastated. She knew they'd try to talk her out of it. She knew they'd quote scripture at her. She knew they'd see her as the family disappointment. But at 32, she couldn't do it anymore. The marriage was emotionally empty. They were roommates, not partners, and Christina wanted more from her one life than going through the motions. She filed for divorce, and then she had to tell her family. She was terrified. She practiced the conversation 100 times. She cried, anticipating their reactions. She almost called it off multiple times just to avoid the conversation. But she knew she had to do it. So she invited her parents to dinner and told them. Their reactions were everything she feared. Her mother cried. Her father asked what she'd done to cause this. They asked if she'd tried counseling, which she had for 2 years. They asked if she was having an affair, which she wasn't. They quoted Bible verses about the sanctity of marriage. They told her she was making a mistake, that she'd regret this, that she was being selfish, that she needed to think about her commitment to God, not just her own happiness. Christina sat there and let them say it all. And then she said something she'd prepared. I understand this is hard for you. I understand you disagree with my decision, but I need you to hear me. I've thought about this for years. I've prayed about it. I've been in therapy. I've tried everything to make it work, and I've decided that staying in this marriage is harming me. I'm asking you to support me, even if you don't understand or agree." Her parents said they needed time to process. Christina said that was fine, but her decision was final, and she wasn't open to being talked out of it. The next few months were hard. Her mother called weekly, trying to convince her to reconcile. Her father barely spoke to her. Extended family whispered about her at family gatherings. She felt like an outcast. But slowly, things shifted. Her parents saw that she was happier after the divorce. They saw that she was still a good person, still faithful, still their daughter. They saw that the sky didn't fall just because their daughter got divorced. A year later, her mother apologized. She said, "I was so focused on what I thought marriage should be that I didn't see how unhappy you were. I'm sorry I made this harder. I'm proud of you for choosing yourself." Christina told us, "Not everyone will come around. Some family members still judge me, but the ones who matter showed up eventually, and I learned that I can survive their disapproval. Their opinions don't define me." How to share your truth. So how do you actually tell people? Here's a strategic approach. Decide who needs to know and when. Not everyone needs to know at the same time. Not everyone needs the full story. Tier 1, your inner circle. The people who absolutely need to know first. Your closest friend or two, maybe a sibling, someone who will support you unconditionally. Tell them first so you have support before telling harder audiences. Tier 2, immediate family. Parents, siblings, anyone directly affected. Tell them before they hear it from someone else. But wait until you're emotionally ready and have support in place. Tier 3, extended family and close friends. They should hear it from you, but you can tell them after the immediate family knows. Tier 4, acquaintances, coworkers, social media. These people don't need details. A brief, dignified announcement is enough. You control what they know. Choose your timing carefully. Don't tell important people when you're emotionally fragile. Wait until you've processed enough to have the conversation without falling apart. Don't tell people right before major events like holidays or weddings, unless necessary. It'll dominate the event. Don't tell people when they're distracted or stressed. Pick a calm moment when they can actually hear you. Prepare what you'll say. Have a script. Practice it. Decide how much information you'll share. For people you trust, "I need to share something difficult. X and I are divorcing. We've been struggling for a long time, and we've decided this is the right choice. I'm sad, but also hopeful about the future. I need your support right now." For people who might judge you, "I want you to hear this from me. X and I are divorcing. It's been a difficult decision, but it's the right one for both of us. I'm not looking for advice or opinions, just support as I navigate this transition." For casual acquaintances, "I wanted to let you know that X and I have separated. We're both moving forward with our lives. I appreciate your understanding and discretion." Set boundaries immediately. Tell people what you need from the start. "I need support, not advice right now. I'm not comfortable discussing the details of what happened. I need you to respect my decision even if you don't agree with it. Please don't share this with others. I'll tell people when I'm ready." Prepare for different reactions. Some people will surprise you with their support. Others will disappoint you with their judgment. Brace yourself for both. Have responses ready for judgment. "I understand this is hard for you to hear, but my decision is final. I appreciate your concern, but I'm not open to being talked out of it. I need support, not judgment right now. If you can't give me that, I understand, but I can't engage with criticism. I've thought about this carefully. I'm asking you to trust that I know what's best for my life." Let's talk about specific difficult reactions and how to handle them. The "have you tried everything" people. They'll ask if you've done counseling, if you've prayed about it, if you've read this book or tried that technique. They're implying you're giving up too easily. Response: yes, we've tried counseling for timeframe. We've done everything we can. This isn't a rash decision. If they push, "I appreciate your concern, but I'm not going to list everything we've tried to justify my decision. I've done my due diligence." The "what about the kids" people. They'll say you're being selfish, that you're putting your happiness over your children's well-being, that you should stay for the kids. Response: my children deserve parents who are healthy and happy, even if that means we're no longer married. We're committed to co-parenting well. If they push, staying in an unhappy marriage would teach my children that women should sacrifice their well-being to keep up appearances. That's not the lesson I want them to learn. The religious guilt people. They'll quote scripture, they'll talk about the sanctity of marriage, they'll suggest you're sinning or going against God. Response: I respect your faith, and I have my own relationship with God. I've prayed extensively about this decision, and I have peace. If they push, I'm not going to debate theology with you. My faith is between me and God. The I'm disappointed in you people. Usually parents or mentors. They'll express how let down they are, how they expected more from you, how they can't believe you're doing this. Response: I understand you're disappointed. I'm sad too, but I can't live my life based on other people's expectations. I need to be authentic to myself. The he wasn't that bad people. They'll minimize your reasons. They'll say every marriage has problems. They'll imply you're being dramatic or expecting too much. Response: you weren't in my marriage. You don't know what I've experienced. I'm asking you to trust my judgment about my own life. If they push, I'm not going to defend my decision or prove that it was bad enough to leave. I've decided, and that's final. The people who ghost you. Some friends will just disappear. They won't reach out, they'll stop inviting you to things, they'll choose your ex, or they'll choose to stay out of it entirely. Response: you can't control this. It hurts, but their absence tells you who they really were. Let them go. The people who stay are your real people. Lauren's story. Losing her friend group. Lauren lost most of her friend group when she divorced. She and her husband had a tight-knit group of couple friends. They did everything together: dinners, vacations, game nights, raising kids alongside each other. When Lauren filed for divorce, everything changed. Some friends took his side explicitly. They'd known him longer, or they believed his version of events. They stopped calling, unfollowed her on social media, made it clear they'd chosen him. Others tried to stay neutral, but ultimately distanced themselves from both. It was too awkward, too complicated. They didn't want to deal with the mess of a divorce in their friend group. A few tried to maintain the friendship, but it was strained. They'd still invite Lauren's ex to things and expect her to be okay with it. Or they'd constantly ask about the divorce, treating her like a cautionary tale. Within 6 months, Lauren lost 80% of her social circle. She was devastated. She'd expected to lose her husband. She didn't expect to lose her entire community. The loneliness was crushing. But Lauren did something crucial. She started building a new community intentionally. She joined a divorce support group and met women going through the same thing. She reconnected with old friends from before her marriage. She made a book club and a hiking group. She made an effort to develop new friendships with people who knew her as Lauren, not as half of a couple. It took time. It was hard. She had moments of deep loneliness and grief for the friendships she'd lost. But 2 years later, Lauren told us her new friend group is better than her old one. She said, "These people chose me. They know the real me. They support me unconditionally. I'm not just someone's wife in this group. I'm me." She said losing friends taught her a valuable lesson. People who can't handle your growth or your difficult seasons aren't your people. I spent years investing in friendships that were conditional. Now I only invest in people who show up for me in the hard times. Protecting yourself from judgment. Here's how to protect your emotional well-being while navigating judgment. Don't overshare. You don't owe anyone your full story. Give people the information they need and nothing more. The more you share, the more ammunition you give them to judge. Build your support system first. Before telling judgmental people, make sure you have unconditional supporters in place. You need people who will validate you when others judge you. Limit contact with toxic people. If someone is consistently judgmental, mean, or unsupportive, you can limit contact. You don't have to keep toxic people in your life just because they're family or old friends. Don't defend or justify. You don't need to prove your divorce was justified. You don't need to list every reason. Your decision is valid because you made it, period. Remember, their judgment says more about them than you. People judge based on their own fears, insecurities, and beliefs. Someone who judges you for divorce might be terrified of their own marriage ending. Someone who's never been divorced can't understand. Their judgment isn't about you. Give people time. Some people will need time to process and might come around eventually. Don't write everyone off immediately, but also don't wait around for their approval. Find your community. Surround yourself with divorced women who get it. Join support groups. Follow divorce recovery accounts. Build relationships with people who understand.
Here's what women on the other side want you to know. The judgment you fear is often worse in your imagination than in reality. Most people are too busy with their own lives to care as much as you think, and the ones who do judge harshly often move on to the next piece of gossip quickly. The people who judge you the most harshly are often the most insecure about their own marriages. Secure, happy people don't judge other people's difficult decisions. You will lose some people, that's unavoidable, but you'll also discover who your real people are, and that's valuable information. The judgment lessens over time. In the immediate aftermath, everyone has opinions. A year later, most people have moved on. Your divorce becomes old news. Your own self-judgment is often the harshest. Work on forgiving yourself, and the external judgment will hurt less. Living authentically matters more than approval. You can spend your whole life trying to please people who will judge you anyway, or you can live your truth and let the chips fall where they may. Here's what I want to ask you today. Who was the first person you told about your divorce? How did you do it? What was their reaction? And for those of you considering divorce but scared of the judgment, what's your biggest fear? Who are you most afraid to tell? Share in the comments. Your story might give someone else courage, and you might find the support you need from women who've been exactly where you are. Because here's the truth. The shame you feel is real. The judgment you fear is partly real. But neither of those things should keep you trapped in a marriage that's harming you. You deserve to live authentically. You deserve to make choices that honor your well-being. You deserve support from your loved ones. And if they can't give you that, you deserve to build a new community that can. The judgment will hurt, but staying in a marriage to avoid judgment hurts more. And the freedom on the other side is worth the temporary discomfort of people's opinions. In our next video, we're finally doing the identity rebuilding video we've been promising. Who are you beyond his wife? How do you rediscover yourself? We're diving deep into that journey. Until then, remember, you are not your divorce. You're a whole, complex, worthy person who made a difficult decision. Anyone who can't see that doesn't deserve a place in your story. Tell your truth, set your boundaries, protect your peace, and let the judgment roll off your back. You've got this, and we've got you.